Hey, hello.
What up? What up? What it?
What it is though? What's
What's
up?
up?
Get in there.
Yo, mm,
Is that not how the show supposed to start?
it did this song. It did
Okay.
the right song.
Oh man. Hi everyone. How's everyone doing?
Woo woo.
It's your girl
What's
Rochelle
going on?
McConico.
And your girl TK Fairley. And welcome.
Welcome to not another
Another.
black show.
Take it away, Rochelle. She the WB frog. She's the NAB frog.
I don't know how to feel about that except for great.
Great.
Welcome to Not Another Black Show, where we hope our unique perspectives
Our crazy humor
and some wise black folks.
can inspire you. You like how I did that? Inspire you to live your best life, your best
Live your best life. Yo, Ayanla Vassant fixed life. No? Okay.
your
Let's just
TK
start the
Fairly
show.
fixed life.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
There it is.
We are excited to have y'all today. So let's start the show.
Let it go.
You know what we need? We need
What we
some
need?
words of wisdom. You know, we need some,
Mm,
some
dope ass words of wisdom from
This
some
how I'm gonna
dope
look when I'm in.
ass. That's your
This how I'm gonna look when I'm in the history book pages. They're gonna be like, it's a history book page. They couldn't put her. They couldn't get her hair fixed when they did the history book page.
That is funny. That is funny. Listen, raise your vibrations because that's what these words of wisdom are for, to raise your vibes, okay? And to help you think. Get in touch with your energy. It's a squirrel behind you, or a rat if you're in New Orleans.
All right, what's our words of wisdom for today?
Our words of wisdom for today is from my very own auntie, because she's from Mississippi, and everybody from Mississippi that's famous is either my auntie or my uncle. That's just what it is. We can here, okay? All right. From Oprah Winfrey, before I get started, the she queen, the she king, the whatever, she her hers. I guess those are her. Okay, all right. I'm just assuming.
Thank you.
I think education is power. I think that being able to communicate with people is power. And one of my main goals on the planet is to encourage people to empower themselves.
I love that. I love that. You know what? Oprah all right with me.
She all right with me too, man. She all right with me too.
I appreciate that she's always trying to empower people because, you know, we don't really be for it sometimes.
Sometimes we feel like you're trying to tell us what to do. It's
Yeah.
what, when we hear the word empowerment, which is what TK's cookout is going to be about today, and the word empowerment, we want to focus on that. But when we hear that, we think, are you trying to tell us what to do? Or are you trying to turn us into a black militant? And that is stuff others. Right. The militant. Shout out to comedian The Militant. Okay.
I definitely hear you on that. Like, empower, that word empower. I think for me, I when I heard it, I was like, for topic of the day, we should just talk about what it's like when you're educating, communicating, and empowering, but you listening to different sources, right? And where do you wind up if you have a different source? Okay, check your source.
That part.
Check your source.
Like, depending on who you listening to, who you under the influence of. I like that. Okay, Rochelle.
We're going to have that conversation, but before we get into it,
I'm Miss Ready.
You gotta wait. Because guess what?
You gotta wait. You gotta wait.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Whoa. Oh, cause we have our guest today. Yay!
Yay! Welcome. You got to snap for him though, because he is a poet.
A poet. We're introducing our friend. I don't know. Leonce.
Hi, Leonce.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight the urge to say what I was gonna say. So who is burning a hole in me? Ooh. Listen, he doesn't like this. I gotta say at least one time, but don't nobody say it in the streets because I don't know what he may or may not do. He a teacher and he a superhero and he a poet, but he ain't too. Hey, don't get it twisted. Don't call him Leonce because he is not. It's Leonce. Okay. All right.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
Hello. So Leonce Hall is a New Orleans native with a hopelessly overactive imagination. He enjoys writing. He survives teaching middle school. You heard that, TK?
Survives.
Yes, and he fights the power. Fight the
That
power
beat.
that be.
That beat. He fights the power that beat.
How are you doing today?
I'm exhausted.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a long week. Pandemic teaching is a different animal. But otherwise I'm fine. I'm, still vertical, still above ground. So those are good things considering the times.
Two good things. Vertical and above ground. 10-toe down. That is how you gotta look at it. I like that. I like how you came back with the positive aspects and started out with the I'm exhausted, but this, and this is why I keep going. I love it. Yes, yes.
Well, tell us about yourself. What is burning in your mind today when you hear that quote, that words of wisdom from Oprah Winfrey?
I'm glad you asked. So I mentioned before we went on air, I asked if this quote was chosen specifically because I was going to be on this week and because I'm a teacher. The reason that I do the work that I do is in an effort to empower young people. It's funny, man. What is it? Friday, right before we left for the weekend, one of my kids asked me, Mr. Hall, why are you always using these big words around us? And I told him there's two things. Thing number one, in many ways, I teach you in the same way that my sixth grade teacher taught me. I teach eighth grade English. And I said, the reason that he would do the types of things that he did with us, like he used to use these big words with us, words that we didn't understand, words he tells us to go and look up later on. He would say that people will try to lock you out of conversations with the words that they use. They'll try to talk over your head and determine your fate without you knowing nothing about it. And so I'm trying to give y'all keys to the doors that they're going to be deciding your fate behind. So the words that I use, I want you to pick them up. I use them because I want you to use them. I want you to learn them. Because when you learn them, then people can't keep you out of these conversations.
I love it. Oh my God.
Yes.
So having said that, you are smart.
Allegedly.
Wait, give me a word. What's the word of the day?
Yeah, do you have words on the day, or they just come out? And do I need a thesaurus to even have this conversation? Let me go and bring my thesaurus out. Put my thesaurus on my phone.
Well, I play a word game with my kids every week where I give them a really big word and I challenge them to use the letters in that bigger word to make smaller words. This week the word was extemporaneous.
Oh yeah, I need my thesaurus. Hold on, let me get my thesaurus.
The word of
and my dictionary.
The Nab's word of the day.
How you even spell that?
Yeah, I can't write it down. That's exactly what was happening.
Do it so with an A or E. Like I'm on here. Like, what? How do I look that up?
Extemporaneous. I can't spell.
It's spelled how it sounds. EXTEM PERANEOUS.
Oh, it popped up. Right. Okay.
Hey, swaggy.
Oh, I'm gonna add this to my vocab.
Yeah, look it up. Use it. Wear it out. Drive your friends crazy.
Spoken or done without preparation. Like this show. Like what we do on the regular. Like I do this on the regular.
Spontaneous, rash.
I'm very spontaneous. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. I love it. I love that.
You know, that's interesting because I think we have turned facts, like if I get a little deep for a second, we turned facts into, they're not even facts, they're just rash beliefs that people have. Extemporaneous
beliefs.
that wind up being something that we supposed to carry around, and somebody picks it up and carries it around like it's truth, and then you argue with somebody over something that you like, that what?
But it's not gonna solve. And then you arguing, but you're not solving anything. You just having a debate. Why would you have a debate? Why would you expound that much energy on a disagreement? You're gonna disagree at the end of the day. Regardless, it's not going like 99% of the debates are because we just doing it to hear. We won't understand it, but nobody really understands you fully, but your inner guy. Okay, I'm off because I take off with this and go all the way into. I go to some spiritual stuff and then come back to some funny stuff. Like you'll be confused fooling with me. So
I love it. I love it. Hey, Elle, tell us about Trapper. I'm interested. Hey, first of all, okay, so if y'all don't know, y'all late. Y'all late. That's number one. But number two, the character, the main character, can you tell us more about him and like how you came up? Did you come up with this main character yourself? Because he's kind of dope. He's a widower, like a single parent. I want to hear more.
So, first and foremost, the whole 50/50 comics idea is essentially my brother's brainchild. My brother Lee Johnson. He and I kind of found each other later in life, and it turns out that I've been writing since I was very young, and he's been drawing since he's been very young, and writing for that matter. So when we were getting acquainted and learn about one another, I was telling him that I like to write. I like to read comics and like to write stories. He said, "Man, listen, I've been drawing all my life. Like, if you like to write, I like to draw. Like, we could maybe do something. We could do like a graphic novel or something." Right? I was like, "Yeah, man, let's do that." And so that idea just kind of snowballed and turned into what is becoming a growing array of characters, a fairly deep roster. One of those characters is a single dad named Tyree Tufts. Him and his daughter Kaya. He lost his wife to gun violence in San Diego, and he's caught right now in the middle of a gang war, and he's trying to keep his daughter safe because he's already lost his wife. He doesn't want to lose his baby girl, and we're looking at the way the story is evolving, where he's coming to terms with the fact that he's doing everything that he can. The threat is encroaching, and he's starting to run out of options. And so we're still we just released the second issue this past month in August of Trapper in particular. But other facets of the story are beginning to be told in some of the other titles that we have coming down the pipe. So yeah, the Tyree himself he's a hardworking man. He's a blue collar worker. He's a warehouse worker. He was what we would like to believe is a decent man. He really believes in community. He believes in family, especially given that his has been compromised. But yeah, he's a good guy trying to do the right thing, as difficult as that can be sometimes. Just like any good person, people can get pushed too far. So we're looking at how far Tyree is being pushed in these first couple of issues.
Yes.
Wow. Well, let me go ahead and buy this novel real quick.
These are the first two issues of long-running comic series. We have other titles that are going to be coming available soon. Keep your eyes open for Hurricane Ida. Keep your eyes open for Mars. Keep your eyes open for Silas. Keep your eyes open for Metal Wolf.
Wow.
Yeah. We have some incredible writers and artists. 50/50 comics. I mean, I am
wow.
fortunate to be able to live the dream. Like, I've dreamed about writing things, and I've read comics since I was really young, and I've always imagined seeing my stories, illustrated. And in this instance, I have a chance to have just a finger in the pot of getting some stories out there that hopefully reflect the world that we live in, and at its heart, teach us about working together and balance versus imbalance. So
yeah,
I love it. Wow.
And also I see that the Trapper dude is kind of fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that how
I
you trying to
noticed.
get people? You notice that too, TK?
Of course. No, that's the first thing I noticed. Like, okay, then
So,
trapper.
He
so
trying
you
to
two aren't
trap
the
me
first
for
people
real,
to have
okay?
made that comment. I mentioned it. I showed a proof, like the very first time I held the proof of a story that I had written and was illustrated by my brother and colored by the incredibly talented Jesse Dykes. The first time I held the proof in my hand and I was kind of showing some of my coworkers at the school, one of my coworkers said, "Oh, this is nice. Look at that guy. Oh, I date him." And she said it real fast. She said it real fast. I was like, "Wait a minute. Did you say what I think you just said?" But yeah, said that to say that Lee does a great job with character design, and Jesse does a great job adding color to our figures. So yeah, man, it's a team effort.
Very
That is
cool.
so dope.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to keep y'all in mind because I may have I got all types of friends and yeah, and I may be able to get you more work, get it.
Yeah,
So I love for you to just do what it is, just you love to do it every day. And I think you love to teach, but I really see the passion when you talk about Trapper.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a passion project. Again, teaching is absolutely it's a venue. It's a valuable opportunity. I enjoy helping young people understand a complex world. Um, but at my very heart, like I'm a writer, I'm a daydreamer, and having the chance to um, put the images that I see in my head on paper and then have them be illustrated, like that
Mm-hmm.
is that's some next level stuff.
That's dope.
Thank you.
My mind already gone on who I'm going. Yeah, not that. Mm. My mind is always. I'm always down to help black men, especially black men that are trying to do or working on their passions. I feel like everybody should do what they want to do, not what they
Agreed.
feel like they have to do. So,
Agreed. We appreciate it.
Come
Thank
on, speak on it.
you. Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute, TK. I got more for you though.
oh,
With old Leon Hall over here. I got a little mo for you. Guess what else he does?
what?
He's a sex worker. No, I'm kidding. He uses his voice on ASMR, and he just he eats chips.
He has the voice to do whatever he wants. I'm so serious, like you need to be radio and voiceovers and all that because you got the voice that people look for, and it grabs people. Like it grabbed me. Like, as soon as you spoke, I was like, wait a minute, who?
Yes, and usually he uses that when he is doing his poetry. Yes,
Yes.
this is his book, High Above the Deep. Hey, tell us
Hey.
about your book, El.
Um. Yeah. So that was gestating for a long time. We need to send lots of shout out and love to Asia Rainey, who kicked me in the tail feathers enough to go ahead and get this thing finished. Um, yeah, man. I've been dreaming about having a collection of poetry for a long time. Shout out to New Orleans, the poetry collective there, all of my poet friends.
Woo!
Um, I mean, there would be no L. Edwards had that not been for True Crew on Friday night, for Cookie
Yes,
Square on Sunday night, for Up Close and Personal at Hard Rock. Shout out to Peaches on Wednesday night. Any other many venues that I got a chance to bless stages with. Like, I really appreciate the artist community there for pouring into me and for inspiring me through the writing that had always kind of been under the surface for a while. And after seeing what words could do on stage, like I was motivated, inspired to give it a shot. And then I got serious about writing that. Before I started writing poetry in New Orleans, it was really kind of just like for a lot of people, therapeutic thing that I would write for me. And then when I would see what people were able to do on stage, I was like, man, that looked like fun. I think I want to get at a shot. So I did that enough and I wrote enough. And again, I was inspired and filled enough by the folks that I saw on a weekly basis to where I had enough to be able to put together a collection. And again, with Asia's expert tutelage, I was able to get this finished.
That is so dope. Oh my God, you do everything.
Yes, he
I do a little.
does.
I try.
Don't be
So
humble. You do a lot.
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
You
I'm just saying, we here, you here,
the
your
mood is set.
poetry. I mean, the mood is set.
The vibes
Dealing
are
with
high.
yeah. Give us some poetry.
Give us some. Give us a little taste.
If we must.
We must. We must. We insist.
Absolutely must.
Okay. Okay. I will read a piece from the book. Since we talked about teaching, um, and I'm in the company of some wonderful sisters, I decided I'd read this poem. It's entitled Lesson. I hope you like it. I want to breathe you in and rub you on my lungs, stained with chalk dust and adolescent angst. I want you behind me to help hold me up when young hopes, horrors, and hostilities get too heavy to bear. I am the only strength some may see, and sometimes sustaining a sturdy spine costs me more than I can pay. So press soft palms up into my ribs and help me make it another day. God forgive my honesty, but sister, I need you. I am charged with shaping young futures, providing guidance and sharing insight. I often take my students' darkness knowing it helps them unleash their light. And yes, you're right. I'm guilty of harboring a hero complex, but only because there was someone there to save me. Just like some nights, I need you there to save me. Because who does a hero call when in distress? I want you there to comfort me when I wonder if I've done my best. When I feel like I've given my last breath, I want to be resurrected under your caress. For every little face and every little desk, for all the dreams I help make manifest, they get what I draw from my depths and they deserve nothing less. When I take my rest, when bells ring and students are dismissed, I long for your touch. I thirst for your kiss. I'm reminded by each day I make it through that I could not do it without you. Poem.
Yay!
Are you trying to get married or something? Oh my God.
He's like, so this is the poem I use to get bitches on me. And then I got another one to beat them off.
That's it right there. That's it. That is it. That would do it, honey. That is the oh my God. That's it right there. Like that's that point when you get done and you get ready to walk off the stage, you got like 10 girls standing there with their drawers in their hand, like, here, just take it. Don't even worry about it. Here you go. Here go my drawers.
I come with mine already like together, like in the little Ziploc and everything,
Right.
like, with a label with my phone number and everything just on it. I can't
Listen, my Instagram handles, my TikTok. Just here. Here. Do you want you want my drawers? Here to go. Okay. You ain't gotta do all that here.
And to know that he could have got it so much easier just by eating chips on
That's it. They said, hey.
Hey girl, these are Lays, girl. You want to get laid?
You won't get laid.
Oh my God! Look, we can stay on this all day, but we have better wrap it up. So, what's your handles?
What's your handles? What's your social media handles?
Let's see. So, excuse me. First and foremost, for anything that is like comic related, 5050comics.com. That's 50 FIFTY comics with an X, COMIX.com. Hit us up for that. You can get a look at some of the characters we've already introduced. You can kind of get an idea of what the overarching story is like. You can buy the titles that we have available right now. There's Trapper Part 1 and Part 2. And we also have Mars, The End is My Beginning. All those things are available. On the socials, my Instagram is lhall_wordflex. lhall_wordflex. We're also on Facebook, 50/50 Comics Publishing. I think that's it. I would give you my Twitter, but I'm not witty enough for Twitter.
Same.
I think that's it.
Very cool. Well, don't go nowhere because we are still going to have more conversation for you. But I think I smell something delicious on the grill. What could it be?
Time for Auntie to flip that meat. Yep. Welcome to TK's Cookout. Welcome. I'm gonna sound like Leon's. Welcome to TK's Cookout. Hey, TK's Cookout, where Black people talk about shit that we don't never talk about around white people. Okay, these are the things you would only hear as your auntie or uncle, because you know I don't want to be biased, or they, however, whatever pronouns, is about to flip the meat as she flips the meat on the grill. Yeah. Welcome to the cookout, bitch. Welcome.
I'm ready for the cookout.
We're ready. All right, so this episode we're talking about, like, the quote was really wet. Like, that quote was perfect for this week, and we did not choose that. Normally I'm charged with picking the quote, but it was Rochelle this week because I was like, I don't feel good, so just do something. So be like that sometimes, you know, we have each other back. But I want to take on the word empowerment. A lot of times when you hear the word empowerment, we get, like I said earlier, we get like, that's you trying to talk about black power, white power, I don't do that, but that's not what this means. Basically, it's a loaded word, first of all, and it can be daunting or exhilarating or both at the same time, you know, like I have mixed feelings, that type of thing. But to empower Black people, you want to get to a point now. We're in this point of post-traumatic slave syndrome. We all have it to some level, and we're trying to break it as we go from, so our kids won't have this same. Now, mind you, that slave part and Jim Crow and all that is not that old. It's not old at all, to be honest, especially compared to other countries and what they, you know, how far they've been going. But it basically is daunting because we don't know what influence a person is under. If you're under the influence of other people and you care about what other people think, it's gonna be daunting. But if you're just speaking it and you want to empower them, and you're under the influence of the source that's inside of you, in a G, that's the letter G, energy, what your energy levels look like, because you attract people who needs to hear this, but they have to be open to deal with the empowerment. Empowerment is openness. Like, you got to be open. If you're not open, it's just going to be another, you're going to sound like the preacher on Sunday up there hooping and hollering, like, that you wasted. I mean, I ain't going to say you wasted energy. That's not the right. But now you're misplacing energy that could be used somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
What you think, Leon? So what do you let me say this real quick. All Black people desire freedom. And the best way, the only way, is to start with self. Because you can't get people where they want to be or where we need to be. You can't get Black people where we need to be if you are not right in your heart, in your soul, your spirit, and all of that. From the inside out. Empowering from the inside out. You want things, you want freedom. We're going to have that. We got that. We're going to have more freedom because we desire it. But when you desire it, where's your energy? Is it out of desperation or is it out of inspiration?
Yes, indeed.
Is
it from desperation or inspiration? I think sometimes when you're looking to empower yourself, I find that it comes from both sometimes, right? Because you get into a place where your soul becomes desperate to be filled, to be like, to be who you're supposed to be, right? Like when I was in the job that I was in, there was times where I'm just crying at my desk, just weeping. Like, am I ever going to be doing the things that I really want to do? Will I ever live the life that I really want to live?
Mm-hmm.
And from that place of desperation, then I get inspired to create something for myself, right? And so I think that that there's a source inside of us, right? That energy that we have inside of us that keeps pushing at us to do the things we're supposed to do. And it's all around us over and over again, that energy saying, go, 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 go. And you fight it because you got bills to pay, you got whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you got family, you got whatever external things that are telling you that you can't. And eventually you get to this place where it's like you're hungry for it to do those things. I don't know. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think?
I think that's eagerness, though. I think that's more than. I think that's not. I think that's more eager, which is a positive thing, which is a good thing. You want to be eager as opposed to desperate. Okay, I mean we're gonna let Neon stop because we'll talk about this all day. Excuse me.
So before I taught English, I taught math for a few years. Um, and I'd always ask my students when we got to the graphing unit that we'd have to be on, I would ask them what a line was. And
Mm.
very often kids would be like, a line is a line. It's a line. Like, you know what a line is. Like, it's when you, and I tell them that very often we have these kind of base, kind of foundational concepts that we toss around a lot, but we never really stop and examine them, make sure that the thing we know is actually what we know. Like we never really question those bottom line ideas. This year, I asked my eighth graders what a sentence was. They were like, it's the words. A sentence is a sentence. Like because we use it all the time. We have a clear picture of it in our heads, but we have to interrogate it. And if we need a working
Mm-hmm.
definition for it, didn't really have one. Um, so power is a lot the same way. Like we say power a lot, and we have a picture of it in our head, but we never really have a working definition for what power is. In my class, we talk about the society that we live in. We talk about social dynamics. We talk about injustice. Um, and we talk about power imbalances, especially as it relates to trying to counteract bullying. Every school that I've taught at has had a very robust anti-bullying campaign. And we often talk about the power imbalance that occurs between the person who is engaged in bullying behavior and the person as their victim. And so I would ask them, I was like, we talk about power imbalance. What is power? For like 15, 20 minutes. Like I had eighth graders talking about what power was.
Mm.
And then we all agreed that our working definition of power is ability. Can you do? Right? Like that's what power really is, the ability to
Yeah.
do. So when we're talking about empowering people, we're talking about giving them the ability to do. Um, some of the struggles that I have right when I'm sitting in my room trying to get things done is there are some things that I can do inside of room 308, and there's some things that are outside my control. I don't have any power to do that. So we do what we can to make sure that people understand the things that they can do. Like I watch Colin Kaepernick and his Know Your Rights campaign, his Know Your Rights camps, and I think that is a brilliant thing for helping people know what it is they can do in a situation that would ordinarily seem threatening. When you know what your options are, when you know what you can do, you feel empowered. You now have power. You know what you can do, right? When it comes to empowerment, it's an idea that can get really large really quick to the
Yeah.
point where it becomes untenable or difficult to process. Um, Being able to have a kind of a grounding idea, a working definition, so to speak, helps us to keep that power in perspective. You know, when we are feeling powerful, how do we use that power? When we are feeling powerless, how do we access some way of being able to do? Um, yeah, man, like being able to do things from the smallest to the largest is one of the things that I try to do when I'm working in the classroom, and this is no different. Like just like the quote says, being able to communicate with people is power. That
It is.
it is a powerful thing to be able to turn the images that live in your head into
Yep.
images in somebody else's head, and that's the reason that we keep kind of doing what we do. As difficult as it might be, it's still worth it.
I like that. You brought me to this, and I'm gonna close out. We're gonna head on over to Rochelle wrapping up my hair and stuff. But I want to say that the powerless and the powerful It's all about how you view yourself any given day at any given moment, and you can feel either way, but you want to balance it, just like you said. When you have those moments, your feelings are important when we talk about power, because your feelings will let you know if you are aligned and ready with your power, or if you letting someone else's thoughts invade your thought process. In other words, what somebody else think. I think the problem with us black people is it's always what white people think. No, fuck them. Like not for real, but yeah, for real. Like that's not what it is. We got to get out of that, and it's been in our minds because since the beginning of time, basically, beginning of this time in America. So we gotta find a way to get that out of our heads and think more on we got all the power that they have, and we don't care if they like us or not. It's not about if they like us. It's not about them loving us or like wanting us to do things. It's not even about them making laws at this point, because it's enough of us to do. All you need is half the black people to get aligned with their self, with source, and man, it's over. Like when I say it's over, it is over. Ain't nothing nobody can say or do. Okay, nothing nobody can say or do to take you out of that mindset. You got to stay there though. You got to learn the balance, and that's exactly what it is. So, and as feeling powerless and feeling powerless is a feeling. Feeling powerful is a feeling. That's where it begins. It lets you know if you are aligned. It feels good to be powerful. Well, guess what? We are. If you're talking to me, you're gonna be empowered. As Rochelle, we have these conversations all the time. You gonna wanna run, but it ain't because you are motivated to run. You're gonna be inspired to run. In other words, when you don't feel the motivation, the inspiration will kick in. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I agree. I agree with both of y'all. Great. This has been a great cookout. I hope the white people have learned some things. Like I really don't care.
You think the white people was at the cookout? Was they outside the fence?
If you coming, they probably are peeking over the fence listening. You know, it don't even matter. Like at this point, like my house probably bugged, and I'm not no Malcolm X. Okay, I'm just working on empowering my people through their mind first, because it's so powerful, and you set off these vibrations, and it comes back to you. The law of attraction is so real, and it doesn't just work with white people. Okay. Works with everybody.
Yes, empower yourself by bringing some good stuff towards you. I like that. Which, how do they follow you, TK? How do they get more?
Follow
TK?
me in these MFN streets. How else? Now this way. You can follow me on Instagram, TK Fairley. You can try to follow me on Twitter. I think my last tweet was like several years ago, because I'm rarely on that. I'm like Leon's. And you can follow me on Facebook, Tekesha Fairley or TK Fairley, TK Fairley Company on TikTok. That's me.
Yes.
That is me. And
I appreciate you trying to get us right in the head and mind and spirit. I don't know if what I'm about to talk about is going to do that.
You do know. You know. Let your spirit guide you. Call your ancestors. They got you.
Well, we shall see, because we're going into the topic of the day, and sometimes topic of the day can get a little, we was agreeing before, and now we're coming from different perspectives, but
it's okay.
It's always beautiful. So let's get into it. So topic of the day is basically this quote, and I'm going to go back and read the quote and just keep it in our mind. It says, I think education is power. I think that being able to communicate with people is power. One of my main goals on the planet is to encourage people to empower themselves. That's from Oprah Winfrey. Thank you very much for those words. And I think when I heard this quote, like it just spoke to my life, right? I was telling you, Elle and TK, I was a teacher. I was an educator for students. Now I use comedy to try to communicate with adults, because I'm like, man, you're trying to change children's lives, but these adults is out here wilding. Like, it makes it very difficult for you to make a lasting change with kids when the things in their life speak something different. So I
Mm.
need to talk to adults, right? And I want to empower people, but I think that it works best when we have like a common understanding, when we're working together, like we're using information in a similar way. Like, for instance, if I tell you a table is a table, and then we're like, yay, and we're all sitting at a table, this is the name of it, it's a table, you can build whatever you want off that, right? You might sit at a table and be like, you know what, I can change what a table is. Now that I understand what a table is, I can make all different types of tables, right? I can create worlds off of this, right? But if I'm sitting at a table and I'm like, this is a table, and you're like, no, it isn't,
Yeah.
right? And we're spending time arguing over facts, things that just that happened in the world, then I don't feel like we can build. Like, we're not getting to that empowerment. We're not communicating well. We're not empowering each other well. But so you want people to have that basic understanding, and yet you don't want people to walk lockstep in beliefs, right? You want to
Mm.
also give room for people to debate and talk and have different sides and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like struggling with this. How do you, like, y'all seen that picture where they have the hand of the black man and he's like trying to grab somebody and lift them up?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
How do you pull somebody up when y'all are way different, sides of the story? Like, how do you make those connections? Do you bridge with everyone? Do you try to empower everyone, or are there certain people that you just don't? I kind of want to understand how you go about having that communication, that education, and empowerment, even when you got people that are just kind of far away from where you see the world.
I don't think it. I think that your like once again, that what you attract is who you attract through your energy is who you supposed to help. There's somebody for everybody. Like, everybody didn't like Martin Luther King. Everybody didn't like Malcolm X. There was some people that didn't like none of it. They were like, don't stop causing all this ruckus. So I think it's not about you one person. I think that's another thing Black people get, where we feel like we got to help all of us, when actually you need to help the people that fix your energy, and then those people can take it on. Like, it keeps going. It's not. I'm gonna educate you, and this is where it stops. It keeps going. Like, it's a ball. It just keeps building momentum, and as long as we're building momentum in the right direction, positivity, empowerment, we good. It's right now, most of us are going back. We're on that ball of negativity, and it just keep going and going. And it's gotten so big that we can't even speak about race, or we can't speak about anything else without feeling negative connotations. And that depletes everything that we're talking about. We can't even talk about building a table when some people be like, it needs 4 legs, and other people like, we need 8 legs. Well, it don't matter. Just the details don't matter. The main goal is the same. I think if we start there, we'll be all right. We all unique. It's nothing. No one formula will work. Okay, it won't. No matter what they taught you. Sorry, Leon said. No matter what they taught you in school. Okay. I just had to say, Leon, because no disrespect. I know you're a teacher. This don't even apply to you, because I already know just from what you're speaking that you don't teach like what I was taught. I probably had like 3 Black people in my probably had like 5 Black teachers, and only 2 were men. And I actually enjoyed them, learning from them more than I enjoyed learning from anybody else, because they were like you. They were like opening my eyes and my mind to something else. And I was like, yes. So you empowering people even when you're not trying to. You are giving them a different perspective just from not trying, just from living your life, being who you are. You know. All right, I'm
Okay.
done. I'm gonna preach the whole
Yeah.
sermon.
Where's the collection plate?
Pass it.
And what you thinking?
I think about that a lot, how to bridge the gaps when people see things so very differently. How, how you create a common space, how you create some common ground, especially now, where two different people looking at the same thing. One of them sees a tree, another one sees a bowling ball, and they're convinced that they are right. I try to remember myself when I try to
This
tell my
fly,
students.
why are you trying to have this deep conversation? There's a fly just being all like, I want to be on camera too. Let me be
It's
on
kissing your face. It just want a kiss. It just wants a kiss. Let the fly kiss you on your forehead, and then he can go by the lips.
Really fighting. He's like, yeah, I want to talk about how we cross things. And I'm like, man, I'm fighting the good fight over here with this fly. Freaking rumbling with this fly.
I seen you over there like this. What in the world is what's happening? Thought you was betting down words, man. Ain't no
that fly was counter-revolutionary. It was counter-revolutionary. It didn't want to have no deep conversations. Come on.
Oh, here they go again. Let me knock this out. Nope. Okay.
We back.
Long story short, I find that being willing to listen is really important.
Yes.
Even to someone whose ideas are polar opposite from your own. Because I know that there's a world, I know there are things that I want to be true, but they are not yet. And I see some other folks who are behaving as though the things that they want to be true are already true. And that can cause us some friction. I try to remind myself that there are, people who think kind of in the circle that I do, people that think in other circles. I think none of us on the very surface of things want anything besides, peace and happiness. I think that the common drive that we have in common is peace and happiness. So if we can start with that and start asking about the whys and getting into some of the finer details, I think along the way we can kind of see where it falls off track and what things we might need to amend or compromise. One of the things that I try to remember though is that I don't know it all. There's no way for one person to know it all, and it takes the perspective of several people to get a full understanding of any given idea, which is the reason that I still try to listen again to those who think very, very differently from me, because they might see something that might be in my blind spot. So trying to remember that other perspectives have value, to seek out those other perspectives. It's a good thing that that's the sort of conclusion that you arrive at after you have been trained and exposed and encouraged to be able to take in other people's ideas, but without marrying them. There's somebody Dante told me once that
quote Dante, yeah.
And I'm sure he was quoting
Dante,
somebody else.
you married and got a baby now, but you still look good, all right. I'm just noticing what's facts. I'm just stating facts.
Okay. All right. People say that. So he had said once that see, now I forgot what he said. What was that? That it was intelligent. The proof of intelligence is being able to entertain a thought without subscribing to it. It was like Seneca who said that. To be able to entertain a thought without subscribing to it is a mark of intelligence, is a mark of wisdom. And a lot of people may not necessarily be trained enough in how to entertain and examine a thought without subscribing to it, like everything that goes in their head. But if we are able to move to that space where we're able to entertain thoughts, we're able to consider different perspectives, not necessarily adopt, but consider different perspectives. I think that is the beginning of some healing. And again, that's the thing that I like that in my classroom, like perspective. How could this be different? How would this be different if XYZ was different? So yeah,
I have a quick question. So what if you go into your classroom and say, instead of looking at the perspective and common perspective, I mean, look at those too, but I think that let's not say going to your classroom. I homeschool, right? So for me, I talk to my boys more about what I want them to focus on. So I want them to focus on, I would love for them to focus on what it can be or what you want it to be, as opposed to what it really is, because we already know what it really is. And if we focus there, that's where all the energy to go, and we'll never move forward. But if you can focus on moving forward, moving and what it is you want, with yourself and with your community, then we have hope now. Now more people will subscribe, like you said, to that. And a belief is nothing more than a thought that you subscribe to, a thought that you keep thinking, that you continue to think. That's what a belief is. And that's where we like veer off and go in different directions because we think somebody's supposed to understand us all the time. We can't have that. You gotta the goal and then focus on what you want it to be. Because we all want it to be the same thing. I don't want us to get caught up in what it is. We already know what it is. We already know what the laws are. We already know the Constitution state. We already know that police kill us. We already know all that BS that go on with us. What can we do differently as Black people? You want us to stop killing other Black people? Well, guess what? Let's go inside and clean that up. Clean up our vibrations, clean up what we feeling, clean up all what our beliefs are, our thoughts, and how we process them. I'm gonna leave with this. Leave always, Rochelle already know I'm about to say. Take what you need, leave what you can't carry, and give more than you take. And those three things are how I see thought processes. So I'm listening. I take what I can, take what I need. I'm gonna leave you with something. You know, it may be too heavy for you to take. Leave it there. You know what I'm saying? If it's too heavy, but I'm gonna give more than I take. So I appreciate that, Leon, so much. I appreciate your point of view. Go ahead, Rochelle. I'm sorry, I done took over your segment.
So, am I sorry? I might be echoing. I apologize if that's the case. But when I think about who I determine to bridge with, who I determine to communicate with, I do think the listening is important. But I will say that it's like, since you're a math teacher, L, you can give me the words for this. It's the little graph thing. What's the little bell curve? It's the bell curve thing. Okay, on the ends of the bell curve is like 1%, whatever out there. I'm not fucking with people way out there. You way out on either side, I can't do it, right? Because I the work, the amount of energy that it takes to get us to a common ground is not worth the juice is not worth the squeeze, right? So
Right.
to me, the people that I'm talking about are in that like 68%.
In the bell
I don't
curve.
know if I'm messing up that man right there, but um they're in that area where I can reach for you, I can grab for you, but I'm not using all my energy going all the way out to you. The people that are more to me more ready to have those conversations with you are people that are closer to that edge,
And
right?
they got to
There's
reach back.
people that are closer to you that
Yeah.
can grab and pull you, but I have to
Yes.
be able to pull in the realm that I'm in because you have to. To me, I think about it as, I'm a love and I'm a give love and I'm a be love, and that's where I'm going to live. But anything that is outside of that, that's trying to pull me
Mm-hmm.
away from that, I'm Gucci on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm good on it,
Leave it
and
right there. I love it.
I leave it there. And so I'll leave y'all with this. Like I did comedy last night, and I'm in San Marcos, and while I'm at the show, someone says one of the comics goes, "Yeah, there's a lot of white people here
Wait.
tonight," and there was nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of white people here tonight. He goes, "Sorry, Rochelle," because I was the only black person in there. And then he goes, the one of the crowd members goes, "Yeah, white power." Right? Um, and I had already peeped this person because they had on an unvaccinated shirt, and then like an upside down flag and stuff like that. And and the first thing I thought to myself was like, yeah, man, them people racist. But they might die soon, so it's okay. I don't have to
That
worry
is
about their racism that
hilarious. Did you
long.
say that on stage? Because that's funny.
I did not. But when I went on stage, I still did my material about taking down the Robert E. Lee Confederate statue. I still did
Mm-hmm.
stuff about the heartbeat bill and rights for women. And then I did stuff that was human, and I made them laugh. I made them laugh because I still connected with them as a
Yeah.
human. And then
Yeah.
the parts that we don't agree in, I let that go because I'm like, well,
That's
you know
it.
what? In the end, maybe they take something away because we're in the same room. So right now, we might be in the same cone and be able to
Mm-hmm.
have that conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
when I get off this mic and leave this spot, I'm not reaching out for you. You
That's
too
it.
far away. I'm not reaching out for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I give you love. You know what I'm saying? Still be loved. So I think
I
it's just
love it.
it's a weird game that we play, right?
The
But we
teacher has
try
now
to.
become the student has now become the teacher over here, and the teacher has now become the student. Did I say that right? I don't know. I'm a little high,
I don't know.
but
All right, y'all. We have to start wrapping it up. So
oh,
I want to use this term because it makes
I'm
me
wrapping it.
happy, which is what are you nabbing from this conversation? Not another black show. Okay. What are you nabbing from this conversation?
Let
I
me
like
wrap
that
it
you're
up.
wrapping it. I'm actually gonna wrap it up. TK, what you rapping? Yeah, what you
My
nabbing?
hair. Besides my hair, wrap my hair up. Okay.
What's your takeaway? 30 seconds.
I
What's your takeaway?
I love these. I love these conversations. First of all, because I like the different perspectives of Black people. I love that we have a Black man on here to give us another perspective. My takeaway is that man, Black male teachers are dope.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna find one for my next husband. Let me go ahead. We're gonna see how this. We're gonna see how this work. That's how I'm gonna get married. My next vow is gonna be we forget all that. We're gonna see.
Elle, what about you?
Between the two of you and your input, like the part of that quote that just continues to stand out to me is I think that being able to communicate with people is power. And you two are excellent examples of that, and I appreciate the time.
Yay! Well, it has been a lovely jam, a lovely time. If you want to follow me, you can look me up. I'm on IG,
She's in the
and
yellow pages.
I probably am in the yellow pages, uh, white pages too.
The white pages
I'm the
too.
whole business out here.
Outlet.
Rochelle _War on IG, and then also Moon Cricket Productions LLC on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Hit us up. We always doing beautiful things like this. If you enjoyed yourself, good, because you fucking should have, and if you didn't, fuck off.
Oh well.
That's me communicating. That is me communicating.
And I mean that. We stand on the words firmly.
We stand on the words. But join us next time on
Not another Black show. And thank you, Leons, once again. And I did my very best not to say the other word that you didn't. I know it slipped every now and then, but I'm a comedian.
Wait, what was it again?
Leonce. Leonce. All right, y'all. It's been great. Love y'all.
All right.
Yeah.